Like,
lighting. So,
it makes it look like you're recording with a much better camera.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, with good exposure, the Samsungs are good cameras.
That's quiet, isn't it?
Well, you got 270 watts space in you.
No, they're 350 each. 700 watts.
No, you said 135 watt, didn't you? So that's 270, isn't it?
Anyway, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on,
Oh, sorry,
guys?
we're recording. Hello.
How you all doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another episode of Talking with the Kibbles. I think you guys really enjoyed this last time. So we're back again. Thank you for joining me.
That's all right.
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about watch lovers' Christmas gift ideas on a budget, and we're talking like literally on a budget. Now, I completely respect all the channels out there that have done this, but I personally feel like my level of budget is obviously different to theirs. Your level of budget could be very different to mine. So we're doing sub £100. We're going our budget, right?
Yeah,
our
we're
budget
going,
for Christmas.
We're going our budget.
So not £3,000 like some of them. We're going sub £100. But before we get into today's video, I just want to say thank you for all the support recently, and everything's just going up at the moment. You know, views, subscribers, everything. And I want to say, if we can hit 1,000 subs before the start of New Year, we're pushing it very close. But I've got something special planned, and hopefully it'll work out pretty well. So there's a little teaser. What do you reckon? I get everyone to subscribe, right?
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Click the button. But anyway, let's jump into this. So, what are we going to be talking about in essence today? What we're going to be covering? Good ideas for Christmas gifts.
Well, I think it's covering watch selections, some strap ideas, and some other gifts ideas, boxes. So yeah, covering sort of a wide range of ideas for Christmas.
Definitely. So the reason we're doing this is because we're watch lovers, and we understand some of you watching probably aren't, but let's say your significant other or a sibling or something like that is really into watches. So we're hoping to give you some good ideas, and at the end of the day, this could just be used as great self-presents for under 100 quid as well,
yeah.
Isn't it? So we're going to cover first off some literal watches, some watches under 100 quid, which are great value for money, and we think you'd definitely enjoy as a watch lover. So do you want to cover the first one? The Timex?
Yeah.
By the way, we've got a screen here, so we're going to be looking over here every now and again.
Weekender, and it is TT2N647.
I'll put that on screen. And there'll be links, I forgot to mention this, there'll be links of everything we talk about down in the description below.
A military-inspired 24-hour with a NATO strap. It is 38mm. So a nice size watch. Not too big, not too small.
Definitely, and on Amazon right now it's £23.16 for a Timex Quartz Indiglo watch. For those of you who don't know about Timex, I did do a review of a Timex. Go check out the video. In there I gave the history of them, which is pretty cool. They've got a connection with Ingersoll. And they're overall just a really cool brand in my opinion. You own a Timex Indiglo?
Yeah, I've got the Diver Indiglo, and I think it's called the Exhibition. I think
Exhibition.
Yeah, I think it is. And yeah, it's a sound little watch. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Timex.
Yeah, we're going to be covering new gifts. So everything we talk about is going to be bought brand new at brand new prices. Obviously, you can go on eBay and pick them up secondhand at a far cheaper price. But we're just giving brand new options, so you're guaranteed to get what you pay for, kind of thing. There's no explaining what you got to look out for and all that. Because I think when you get into eBay and you've got to cover more things, so we're just going to keep it basic at brand new. But the second one we're going to look at is a Weekender oversize. Now, I found this recently, and I sent you this picture, didn't I, of it? Because I thought it was ridiculously good. Now, Timex right now are doing a bit of a flashback. They're doing a lot of watches that look old-fashioned in a sense. This has got a separate sub-seconds. Unfortunately, everything is quartz, and I would like to see them do some automatic pieces. I think it would definitely boost their brand up there, but then they'd be competing with Seiko and Orient and Citizen. So.
And in Ingersoll.
They're what used to be kind of their brand. But yeah, so this is the Weekender oversized, very cool looking vintage sort of dial with separate sub-seconds, like I said. It is also an Indiglo, so for those of you that don't know what Indiglo is, it has a button which is usually nowadays on the crown, and you push it in, it lights up the dial. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's what happens. This is on a vintage sort of inspired Zulu leather strap by the looks of things. And this comes in on the Timex website at a crazy good value of $69.99 for a very, very good looking watch in my opinion. So there's one to definitely get.
We've got a Weekender Fairfield. So this is a slightly larger watch, 41mm. Very classic design. It reminds me of the sort of Daniel Wellington.
Yeah, definitely. Fashion
piece.
watch.
Again, Indiglo, so it's great, if you need to check the time during the night, just press the button and the whole dial just lights up. Again, very reasonable price. Was it £59.99?
£59.99, 60 quid
Yep.
for a Daniel Wellington looking kind of watch. Obviously, there's a lot of other options. Go on the Timex website, have a little scroll through and see what stands out to you personally, or whoever you're buying for. Right then, the next brand we're going to be looking at is one you all should be very common with, and that is Seiko. There's obviously a lot of ranges in Seiko that they offer, and vintage-wise, you have endless options on eBay. So if you want to go that route, definitely go that route. We've gone that route many times. A lot of our watches are Seiko's. Vintage ones are from eBay, but we're going to be looking new, and the best place I think personally for new Seiko 5s, because that's pretty much the price range we're going to be looking at, is Creation Watches. Also, Amazon is a great place, and I think eBay do have new, like actual sellers who sell new.
Yeah.
Some stores as well. I think H. Samuel.
Yeah, I think they do now.
I think they potentially do them, but I think you'll get them cheaper online on Creation Watches. So you're looking at about between £50 and £80, and for those of you that are familiar with Seiko 5, endless options. You can't really go wrong.
No,
Seiko 5.
Again, these are automatic pieces, which is a bonus.
They use the 7S26, which is the same as in my SKX. So
very reliable movement and great. There's an option there for virtually everybody, depending on what taste you have. Will suit somebody, so it's a great option for you.
Size wise as well, they're usually between 36, 38 and 40 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's around 38, so it's an okay size. It's not too big, not too small. It should fit most people. 38 is usually that midpoint that people can just get away with, sometimes 40. So the next one we're going to be looking at is definitely an interesting one that we both found when looking for ideas for this video. And it's actually got me quite interested now, which is the Orient Classic line. They have many options in the Classic line, ranging from different shapes, but we're going to be specifically looking at something very, very unusual, which is the rectangular ones. Do you want to give a bit more information about these?
Yeah, so this is the Orient Classic. They're automatics, and do you want me to give the model numbers or?
No, they're way too long.
Yeah,
I won't put them on screen. I'll leave links to a few down below.
So they're sort of a lozenge shape and a rectangular shape, dials with different date complications that they've included on there, which is unusual. They're quite nice looking pieces actually.
They are.
Quite surprised me.
A ridiculous price as well. You can pick them up anywhere between £73 to up to £100. Like right now, we're looking at one that's £78. Absolute bargain. It comes on a bracelet, and it's got a very, very nice date complication on it, like your little Orient 3-star.
It's a similar idea. Yeah, definitely. Where the day is indicated with a dot as it goes around the days of the week.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something a bit different, something that stands out, and something they'll definitely remember, then I'd say this is the way to go. Orient's a great brand. Those people who know watches know of Orient. I don't think you can go wrong with this. I have the feeling, just a feeling, that the bracelet won't be very good. It'll be like the Seiko 5s, which is what I forgot to mention. The Seiko 5 bracelets aren't very good. So for £50, I'd say add in an extra strap, and we're going to get onto strap suggestions in a minute. I'd say throw in a strap with that, and they'll be well happy in it. You're getting a strap and a watch, and I'd probably say the same with Orient. They're not known for having the best bracelets.
The one I've got isn't the best.
The one I've had as well in the past is not very good either. But you get everything you're paying for usually goes into the watch part, and then the bracelet's an afterthought in a lot of cases. So that's that one. So the next one we're going to be talking about is a brand that you guys know my opinion on, so I'll let you give the suggestion, because it's not a suggestion from me personally. I probably wouldn't advise this, but go for it.
Basically it's the Vostok Amphibia more than the Kamanderski. I prefer the Amphibia. I've got one. I know what they're like. It's got its own sort of issues, putting it politely. And for very little money, you're getting an automatic movement. It will do 200 meters, so you can go swimming in it with it without any worry it breaking on you. It's built like a Russian tank, so a Vostok is a Vostok.
I'd say if you're going to go with one of them, make sure the person knows about Vostok. From personal opinion, I don't think if the person doesn't know a huge amount about watches, they probably won't appreciate a Vostok because the history wouldn't really appeal to someone who doesn't know. You know what I mean? Obviously, to them it would just be a cheap, rubbish watch. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you know.
Yeah.
Like, I respect the history of Vostok. I've made that clear. Yeah. But watches themselves, I'd say go with a Seiko 5. My personal opinion. Yeah. If you for 30 quid. Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Up to you at the end of the day. So there's another suggestion. Again, with the next one, also one that might be considered an absolute no to a lot of people. Marge watches, Parnis and Alpha. We're both experienced Parnis and Alpha.
Yeah.
Right now I'm wearing an Alpha. We forgot to do a wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Alpha Daytona Paul Newman, actually on a Watch Gecko strap. This is the Oyster bracelet. We'll get onto this in a minute. And you are wearing?
I'm wearing a vintage Avia.
Ooh, nice.
So
I don't think I've seen this one yet, have I?
No, this is a new purchase.
Nice. I'll put pictures on screen for you guys. But yeah, that is
nice. 36 mil. Just love the patina. It's a 1930s, 1940 watch. So it's got some age to it. And
now the killer question: how much did you pay that out for?
It was £18.
Vintage. You can go vintage. We're not going to cover vintage, but you can go vintage. That's definitely something you can do. Anyway, Parnis and Alpha, I would definitely advise if the person's into Marge watches. If, let's say, they really want a Rolex but haven't got the money for a Rolex, get them an Alpha Submariner, or a Parnis Submariner. Sub £100, decent quality, will do the trick. Don't expect anything great. I guess put it in the same box as Vostok.
Yeah, I mean,
not on her Marge bar. I mean, in terms of what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, for the money, I don't think if that's the sort of thing that you want, that you want something that looks similar to a Grail watch of yours, then go for it. You're not throwing down thousands of pounds.
Far from it. Under £100 in a lot of cases. There are exceptions, like this one is 140 new, but you can pick it up second hand under 100. And I think there are cases where Marge watches are definitely acceptable even to the top end collectors, because stuff like this, let's say someone who's got a few Rolexes will definitely, let's say that's their pushing their limit, getting a Rolex, they're definitely not going to be able to get a Paul Newman, which is auctioning off at about 150 plus at the moment, 150k. So I think her Marges are acceptable in that circumstance. So there's definitely something to consider. But that's the watches out of the way. There's some great suggestions. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. Always appreciated. But we're going to move on to straps now. And there's many options you can go for eBay or Amazon. But today, I'm going to be looking at just Watch Gecko because obviously I've had a lot of experience with them. They've helped me out as well, and they do create really good straps. This one I am going to be doing a review of soon. This is the Solid Oyster. And I can't wait to do this review because I actually paid for it myself, so no one can give me that whole crap like they did the last one. It's an absolute great strap. But anyway, this is actually one I'm going to suggest. You can pick it up anywhere between 28 and 30 pounds, and it fits 20 and 22 millimeters watches. That's the killing part. For 28 quid, you get a strap that fits 20s and 22s. So already right there, incredible, and it comes on a variety of choices. You've got brushed and polished, black PVD, grey IP, and then two-tone with gold. So there's plenty of options there.
I think it's called the Jonathan GP, which is Grand Prix 206. It's a orange. I've got the orange version with my.
The Monster, yeah, I'll put it on screen. It looks absolutely brilliant.
And it comes in grey and black. And at the moment, it's on sale for £5, can you believe?
£5.
Which usually it's £10. So even at that price, it's a great quality leather strap. It looks the part, yeah, you just can't go wrong with it.
And this is another reason why I'm actually suggesting WatchGecko over eBay. I was looking on eBay yesterday, the straps, and they're about £10 to £15 anyway.
Yeah.
So for cheaper right now on sale with £5, you're getting a much better strap in my opinion from an actual company that do free delivery, and it comes pretty damn quick if you're in the UK.
Yeah.
I usually get next day delivery.
Yeah, yeah, they are very good.
So for £5, it's cheaper than eBay, and it's better than eBay. And then even at £10, it still works out around the same price, if not a bit cheaper in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So I don't see how you can go wrong. The next one we're going to be looking at is a Zulu Diver. There's plenty to choose from. I wrote down a specific one. Instead of doing that, go have a look. They've got some great options ranging from £10 to £20, and they're just really, really good. Really high quality leather, look great. Many options to choose from. Many buckle types as well, you know, with brushed or polished or gold or black PVD.
Yeah.
So they give you them options, which is really cool. Range of sizes as well in all these straps. And then the last one is
the classic Bond NATO. Again, size ranging from 18 to 22, and again a very reasonable price of £10. Again, you'd be hard-fetched to find a better quality NATO. I've seen them myself and felt the difference in the quality of the ones you get on eBay compared to these, and they are much thicker and much better quality. The finishing on them is better on the edges. They're not going to fray.
That's one thing, the fraying, because I've got a couple of the eBay ones, because they're like £3 on eBay.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, they're £3 on eBay. Pick them up if that's what you want, but they fray, and not only that, they're not very thick. They don't feel very nice. These actually do. And I just want to mention, this video is in no way sponsored by WatchGecko.
No.
They haven't even asked us to put this in. We decided on the spot today that we're going to do this video. I just thought we might as well add them because they are good. But let's move on to the next one, which I think if the person you're buying for doesn't have this already and they've got a few watches, this is your perfect gift. Not straps, not watches. This is going to be your perfect gift for them that they'll appreciate the most. If they've already got one of these, I probably wouldn't advise it. But that's watch boxes. So we've got 3 suggestions for you, all from Amazon, because I think that's probably going to be your best bet. You can go on eBay. I think they're around the same price, but I'd stick with Amazon. It's just one of those things I feel more safe shopping with Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, I've bought from both.
Same, I have as well.
With watch boxes, and to be honest, they're usually the same vendors anyway. With the sort of the cheaper end of the market, they're usually using the same vendors. It's just they've got different marketplaces in eBay, and they use Amazon as well.
I just feel personally Amazon get problems sorted so much quicker and a lot less hassle.
Yeah.
eBay can be a right pain, like an absolute right pain.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I chose to just show Amazon. Go search on eBay if you think you might get it cheaper. I think they're the same prices.
I was going to say they're virtually the same vendors. I don't think there's that many different vendors out there, and the watch boxes themselves are exactly the same.
Yeah, they are. You've got one that's different to mine, but they're exactly the same. Yours has just been stamped.
Yeah, they might have a different name stamped on the front. But
mine doesn't even have a stamp on it. But anyway, the ones we're looking at today, this is a Von House Brown Forks leather, and it's a 4-slot. So for a small, is it faux?
Yeah,
I always said 4. Oh, faux.
It's not real leather.
It's false leather.
Faux leather.
Faux. There you go. Yeah. And it's a 4-slot. So for someone who's got a small collection, or just I'm gonna have free watches soon anyway. I don't know why I'm saying that. Jesus, scary. Yeah. I need to get one of these. And it's got an underdrawer as well for like jewelry. I'd say jewelry or spring bars. Potentially a strap could fit under there. Looks like.
There's enough room for strap.
Spring bars. I don't know about you guys. I lose them, so I keep them all in them. Yeah. And it comes in a stupid price of $12.99 for a watch box that looks nice. It's faux leather, but it looks nice and it feels nice. The one I've got feels nice. So and the next one is this one.
So we've got a Katomi faux leather 10 watch strap watch case.
This is the one you've got, right?
This is the one I've got. I've had it for just over 12 months. Had no issues with it. It still opens and shuts perfectly fine. and the display window.
So it's got a plastic display.
It is plastic. It's not glass. So it's perfectly safe around kids, and it's a good quality little box, and it does exactly what it says on the tin.
The box,
or even on the box.
And it comes in at £11.21, which is stupidly cheap. One thing I do want to mention, this is from my personal experience, the cushions are cheap and horrible, and they deform very quickly and get dirty.
They do get dirty, but then,
you're paying barely anything.
I would say that even with the most expensive cushions, they'll end up dirty because of
dirty,
the oils.
Yeah. But the holding the structure, I think is... I think these are cardboard lined inside.
They are. Yeah, they've got like...
So I just want to warn you guys, the cushions aren't very good. But they do the trick. I've used mine for ages as well.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong for that price. Yeah. So yeah, and the last one is a Som mix. Something like that. Watch storage box. Now this is for the person with a much larger collection, 12 watches, so it's 12 slot. Again, the exhibition case on the front, of plastic I assume. This one has actual metal, what do you call it, hinge, a metal hinge.
Yeah,
whereas ours have got a ribbon,
yeah,
like a ribbon hinge. Another thing to mention, if that breaks, you're going to be flying all over the place. This one's got a metal one, and it also has an underdrawer. With storage, and it's got organisers as well, so you can split it up for earrings and all kinds of stuff. Again, you can put anything in there; it doesn't really matter. You can put more watches in there, so that's definitely a good one to consider. It comes in a bit more expensive at £25.99, but still really good price in my opinion for what you get. Definitely. And then you had some suggestions for some other potential gifts. So they're the main ones we're covering and giving you details and links and everything. The rest you will have to go find yourself. But what was you saying?
I mean, for the avid collector, I think the tool sets that you can purchase from eBay and various other outlets, even Amazon do them, where you get.
And they're like £8 and you get 20 piece. And
there's different sizes on with different bits depending on what you want.
The cheaper ones you do get what you pay for. The tools are cheap and they will break. Just be warned, but they do the trick.
I think for any avid collector, I think just having that would be a nice gift.
Definitely. And if you are willing to pay that extra bit more to get the better quality tools, WatchGecko do have an accessories part as well. They've got a cool little tool for someone who maybe works in the watch industry. I take mine actually with me. That lug sizer.
Oh right, yeah.
Did you see the one? So it's a little plastic thing. It is made of plastic, but it's got the different sizes, and you just slot it into the lug. It tells you what the lug sizes are. It's quite useful. I work at Watch Station, and I do get people ask me quite often actually, what are the lugs, because they want to swap straps. And we don't have any tools, so I literally have that in my pocket, and it's been a lifesaver. So that's definitely something to consider as well. They've got what's that for the spring bars?
The spring bar tool.
I think it literally is called a spring bar tool, isn't it? They've got a solid one on there, and the one that comes in the sets is just a metal cheap one. Mine's already because it comes with two little claws with a gap in the middle. One of my claws has already come off on the cheap one.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's like frayed away. So there's definitely something to consider. And you also mentioned books, and you've got a few here. I'll put pictures up on screen. Give a little bit about why you think books are a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, again, for somebody who's interested in horology, whether it's just collecting or just wants to sort of swat up on a bit more about the history of watches and how they were made. So I got just a few selections from Amazon, and there was a price guide, which is useful when you're looking at used, and it gives you an idea of at the time in the marketplace, and also it's nice to look back. This was 2014, I think mine.
Yeah, this massive one, and the prices are okay, to be honest. Obviously. A few things have changed, which is to be expected. But
it gives you with that particular price guide, it gives you a number of the actual models. Which obviously, if you're looking at vintage, it's great to look back on different manufacturers and see what they actually made, and gives you an idea of what to pay for. So yeah, it's,
I even saw a Timex in there.
yeah, it's got pocket watches as well as
Tex, Bullivers, old Bullivers.
It's got it goes through almost all of the manufacturers
Boxes as well.
Yeah.
Boxes, that's good.
Yeah, it's got
Elgin.
So
Yeah, it's got Gruen, Hamilton. Yeah, it's got a real wide selection here. Actually, this is pretty cool.
So it's obviously they bring it out every year. That one's called
2014 Complete Guide to Watches. Yeah, I'll put pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it comes out every year, and I just thought it was a great introduction to watches.
There's the Paul Newman.
Yeah,
I'm wearing.
But
yeah, definitely. I'd definitely consider these as well.
Definitely.
Books and tools are like our side thing that we think maybe add on.
Yeah.
You've still got a bit of cash left.
Yeah.
So we covered watch boxes, straps, and watches themselves. That's always a good gift. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, please leave us a like. We always appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos from the both of us, definitely let us know down below. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again in the next one. Take care and peace out.